This video is sponsored by Bityard. With over 400 cryptocurrencies to choose from on their spot exchange, dozens of USDT pairs for futures trading, perpetual coin futures, trade commodities like gold, silver and oil, Forex, and major indices like Nasdaq. You can buy crypto from Bityard with over 50 different fiat currencies using Visa, MasterCard, Google or Apple Pay. If you like, you can use their copy trade facility, follow other traders who will execute trades on your behalf, or become a copy trader yourself. So if you want a bit of that, click the link in the description. Hello everybody, welcome back. So I'm going to show you something about XRP which might be hard to accept for those who don't like it, and almost might be a bit of a disbelief for those who do like it, right? So you know I like XRP, and it's a good coin to do trades on, margin trades that would be, futures trading, because when it goes, but and it often respects the chart, so it's not something that just goes, some people think it just removes out of the blue, right? Oh, it just does what it wants when it wants. It's not the case. There are setups here, and it's slightly different to the rest of the market most of the time, which why I think most people just can't understand why they turn on they look at their portfolio one day, or they just have a look at the movers of the day, and XRP has suddenly done a 20%, or maybe even a 50 or an 80 or over 100%. You're like, that makes no sense. It's a scam. No, there is rhythm to this chart, and I'm just going to compare this briefly to Bitcoin at the moment, and I'm going to you're going to have to accept what I'm going to tell you, which is that as far as this chart is concerned, it actually looks better than Bitcoin. And it's hard to imagine. So we're looking at it on a weekly first. First of all, we'll just pay attention to the moving averages on a weekly. So this this pink one here, this is your center of the Bollinger Band. It's the 20 weekly. So those who know Bollinger Bands, and it's a very basic style of trading, but pretty useful to know, is that whether you're above or below the center, you're 65% more likely to stay within that range, right? So bulls, if you ever want to step in at a potential decent buy, you buy at the 20. The 20 moving average, whether it's a weekly, a monthly, daily, 4 hourly, 5 minute, whatever. You're 65% more likely to stay within that region. So the odds are ever so slightly in your favour. Not massively, but ever so slightly. We are at the moment, again this is only Thursday, but we're crossing above it at the moment. If we get a closure above here, that's great. That's the first time we've closed above it for a little while. Since we were effectively above it since August. We were above it since August, came down, respected it here, 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 and finally gave it up in November with the rest of the market, which gave up in November. So yeah, rejection here, now we're above it. We're also getting support on this, more or less on this 10 exponential. So in relation to the moving average, the 20 weekly, with its tether pairing, it's okay. Let's just have a quick look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is actually below it. There's your 20 weekly there, coming in at 45,400, give or take a little bit. Interesting. It's also got a lot to do with the fact that XRP has been consolidating for basically a year, which is what you want to see. You want to see big, long consolidations. This has been going on for just short of a year, right? And looks like it wants to end. Now, what we also see is a giant descending triangle, right? So forget about the fact that it's a triangle. Just think about the fact that it's a consolidation, right? This is your top, this is your top, this is your top, this is your top. Now, obviously, we've not broken out of it yet, so we can't say that we're going to go all the way to the moon. But what we can say is that, look, we've got a fix on this. Okay, if we want to get particularly bullish on it, first of all, it looks like we're trying to reclaim this 20 weekly. Secondly, just a little smidgen above it is this consolidation trend line. And if we're above both of those, then it would be reasonable to assume that we can push up to this level here, which is $1.04, right? That would be reasonable to assume all of that. It's not exactly far away from where it is right now. 25% from here to there, no big deal. That would be a trade in itself, I suppose. But again, we're looking at this on a weekly, so we're looking at it for the long term, for a really big continuous move like XRP can do and has done in the past. Now, with these consolidations like this that take a long period of time to take place, we've had one of these before. This is in the end of the bear market going into the bull market. In fact, the bull market was in full swing by the time it came out of here. Again, this is why people can't really fail to understand and fail to trade XRP, is because it moves different. The bull market for crypto generally started here, and XRP did have a little rally, but it wasn't ready for it. We were still consolidating in this giant consolidation trend line until it broke out, accumulated for a very small period of time, had a decent rally, another one, and then it's tailed off since there. So these sort of these sort of consolidations are quite easy to read. And forget about the fact that it's a triangle, like I say. Just think about it as in, like, if we're outside of here, we'll have a little bit more freedom to move. It might not, it could do, it might not, but it should, and it probably will. Another thing we've got to look at is, how's momentum building on this one? Well, I mean, we can look at the MACD, which is basically the moving average convergence divergence. That's what it stands for, the MACD. And what we look at is histogram ticking up. Yeah, it's red. Yeah, we're below the 0 point, and now we've got a green histogram and a tick, a cross. So this is showing continued divergence of momentum to the up on the weekly. That's obviously matched by the price action, but it's true. And if we continue with this, the divergence of these moving averages, and we get above the 0 point, we go into full swing. That's generally what happens. We've got a crossover here in April 20th, and then lo and behold, we continued up from there. Really, we kind of did. I mean, that was the absolute low. Obviously, it wasn't outside of the descending trend line here, but that's more or less what happened, and we continued on up. Now, again, we can't trade solely based on a MACD, but we also have money flow index ticking up. We've got the RSI ticking up, and this is all based on a weekly. So let's just have a look at Bitcoin and see what's going on there. So we've got the money flow index, we've got the RSI. We're still lagging behind XRP when it comes to the MACD. Again, this is all just a weekly. So at the moment, surprisingly, on the long-term time frame, being a weekly chart, XRP is doing the business, right? It's doing the business. It's showing promising signs of strength. It's got a good relationship to its moving averages on a weekly. To be honest with you, it's above all of them. To be honest, it's above all of them. So this is just a weekly, like I say, and we're still within the consolidation. So we have to expect, a rejection to start with. We do have to expect that. But if we break out of here, then it's time to really pay close attention and take it down to a lower term time frame. XRP has got a very, very strong relationship with the 200 exponential. In fact, it's one of the most relevant moving averages of any chart on any crypto. Now, the 200 is really important. It needs to be below you. That's like the baseline, the lowest moving average you need to have underneath all price action. Again, being below it is bearish, being above it is bullish, and that's way more relevant for XRP than anything else. And I always say this to people, especially when XRP starts to moon and people start sending me DMs on my Telegram going, when do I buy XRP? It's already up like 50 or 80% or whatever, and I'm like, look, wait till it touches a 200 exponential again, then that's your chance to try and buy it. All right, don't buy it when it's rallying, because the rallies they're short and they're fast, and you'll get caught out. So we are getting close again to this level now being reclaimed. The more times you touch your support, or the more times you touch your resistance, the more likely it is to break. So we came up to it here, had a very strong reaction to it. I can't take it. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row, we're moving up to it. With all these moving averages moving up as well, we're basically forming an ascending triangle with the moving averages by default. So it does look like it's soon enough it's going to break. And look, over the next few weeks, this is going to cross outside. Whether you like it or not, it's going to cross outside of this descending trend line. The consolidation, basically, it's going to cross out of there. So it looks like it's sooner rather than later, going to break out of here and get ready to go. So that's good. What else do we have on here? We've got a conversion baseline cross here. It's hard to see with all these moving averages in the same place. We've got a cross there, we've got a green portion of the cloud, price is above the cloud, and the Chiku span is also above the cloud. That suggests it wants to move up as well, right? So not going into an actual trend, but basically push up. And that could be the move that pushes us up the 25% to the first major area of significance on a horizontal basis, which is about that $2.04. That looks reasonably likely to me. We've got a lot of precursors at the moment. We've got a strong area of resistance which wants to break. We've got a consolidation which is only a tiny piece above it, and then we've got a major horizontal. Does look to me like it wants to break through here and shoot straight up to this level before maybe consolidating a little bit in the short term and then going for gold, basically, which is what XRP likes to do. So on the daily it looks okay. as well. So the weekly's the best, the daily's also pretty good. There's not really much point in looking at it on the shorter term time frames, not until you're looking to actually get a position in XRP for a futures trade. I wouldn't really bother looking at it, but what we can see is that, yeah, we got death cross followed by golden cross, followed by death cross, golden cross, and this time it's diverging a little bit more. So that's also looking pretty good, and it's respecting this chart on this time frame as well, and it's looking a little peaky on this time frame as well, but not massively. There's no bearish divergence or anything like that. There is a little bit on the money flow index, but not massive. So the main thing to focus on would be the weekly, which is annoying, I guess, for the most part, because you're like, oh, we have to wait for a whole week for this to close, and you know, fair enough. I'm looking first of all for a move to break up and push towards the top of this Bollinger Band, this horizontal, which is going to take us to about between $1.04, $1.06 thereabouts, give or take, for the first push. Now, outside of this entire chart comes the SEC lawsuit, right? And anyone who's ever looked at whatever SEC does when it comes to crypto, it's just not very efficient, right? They tried their best and they dragged out for a long period of time to deal with KIN, right, which is the native currency to that Kick app, right? That went on for ages and ages and ages, and it really hurt the currency while it was going on. Now they either settled outside of court or basically lost. Can't remember which way it was, but it didn't work out for SEC, and that was just with KIN. Now KIN's not nothing, but it's not XRP. XRP is like a mega beast. It's like extremely powerful, centralized. People run that show, do you know what I mean? They're powerful. They're not going to win against XRP. It's just not going to happen. So you do have that. Essentially, it's like a lottery ticket or a raffle ticket with a very high degree of success based upon what's going to happen with that court case. Everyone's going to want to buy in when that court case finally either gets thrown out or settles or loses, as in SEC loses. It's almost certainly going to happen. Now, that in itself isn't going to be amazing, you wouldn't say, oh, that adds value to it. But what you would say is that, okay, let's think about it outside the box. So XRP is okay now, is it? Goes back on Coinbase, goes back on all these other exchanges, whatever. Gets traded, the volume comes back in because it can, and people just get excited and ride the wave. That would be the sort of stupid FOMO style move that you'd expect to see from XRP based on its chart anyway. Way up, massive consolidation down, way up, massive crash back down, huge up, and a year-long consolidation. Now, if anything, we are looking for this to break out on a technical basis anyway. Anything else that comes into light, that pushes this up even further, that's okay for me. And if we do a measured move, and we've done this in the past, and again, measured moves are, they're fun to do, but they're kind of relevant as well. And we are looking for, if we were to break out this week or next week, we're looking for a new high to form. And those who ever follow XRP, especially since it broke out of its major consolidation, we get these mountain and molehill effects, right? So you get a mountain and a molehill, mountain and a molehill, mountain and a molehill. So what we'd be looking for would be a first initial big push up, probably beyond $2, a big consolidation down, God knows where to, and then another follow-up rally, which is probably a little bit less than that, just like we have over here and over here. So surprisingly, like I say, with everything there for you to see, the setup is much better, I would say, than Bitcoin. The longer the consolidation, the bigger the move, right? The relationship to moving averages, better than Bitcoin. The MACD, better than Bitcoin. The daily, better than Bitcoin. I'm not saying that Bitcoin's great or anything like that. I'm just saying it's worth looking at the two. And you could probably compare this to many other altcoins as well. You'd be hard pressed to find many altcoins, especially in this, with this kind of caliber, this high up the coin market cap rank, that would have a read similar or like this, which is actually pretty promising. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to become a millionaire if you buy XRP. I'm not saying that. Like, let's face it, we're 83 cents at the moment. How high is it possibly going to go? We're looking for maybe a 1 or 200% maybe from this next rally. Give or take. I know that's a big difference, but thereabouts. We're looking for a big rally, basically, up towards the $2 and so on. But then maybe I'll have the freedom thereafter to carry on after that. I don't know. But, based on the chart, that's what we're looking for. That's what we're expecting. And that's what I'll be looking to trade, like I say, as a futures trader. This is one of the only coins that I like to trade futures with. And I do them far and few between. But when I do it, It's pretty good stuff. So all eyes on XRP. It's got a nice setup at the moment. It's not confirmed anything yet, but it's borderline confirmation at the moment, and we are looking for something pretty special to take place for XRP. Well, as soon as these precursors are met. You know, some of them are already being met, but you know, it's not going to be long before the rest are confirmed, and then we can go to town on it. This could even happen today. It could even be halfway through the moon tomorrow, or not tomorrow, next week maybe. I'm not here to pinpoint the exact day it's going to do it. I'm here to tell you that it's you know, it's effectively brewing a big move, like it does when it gets to this kind of setup. There's a year-long consolidation. Don't forget that, right? Year-long consolidation. We haven't seen that across the board for the market. We have for XRP, and the longer the consolidation, the better the move. The reason for it. It's been able to reclaim these moving averages on the weekly, which all these other coins, including Bitcoin, hasn't been able to do because they've not had that long period of consolidation. Look, with or without the SEC lawsuit, this is going to work out pretty well, I think, anyway. With the SEC lawsuit, it's going to emphasize the big bold move up, but don't forget to sell, don't forget to take profit, or whatever it is, however you're trading it. Remember, XRP is a volatile beast. If there's anything that we've got to go by, is that history seems to repeat pretty frequently. We have big moves up, big moves down, even in the downtrend. Big move up, down, 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 big move up, big down, big move up. You get the picture, right? So we are looking for a big move up to a new, well, not a new all-time high, but a new local high here, big one. But then we would also be looking for a big pullback. Right. So anyway, I'll leave it with you there. There's no need to go into any further detail. The main thing is keep your eye on it, right? Keep your eye on it. There's no buy signals on it, but there's some very promising signs that it's getting ready to do a big breakout. Whether it's, you know, this week, next month, or whatever, it looks pretty awesome to me. So all eyes on it. Keep those precursors, you know, in plain sight. They're all there for you to see. And get ready to pull the trigger if you're that way inclined, right? Well, have a nice day, guys. Thanks for watching, and take it easy.